as I've been quite critical of Donald Trump all along, but I didn't want to really be too critical of him because I hated Hillary Clinton that damn much. But there's always hope. I have a dream. Here the Confederate flag flies over the White House. And you know the deal is, if I know the real deal with the war between the states, basically when the North won, that was the beginning of the end of the Constitution of the United States. That's the reality of the situation. There was no freeing of the black people. That was BS, because if you look 100 years later, what was going on in northeast New Jersey in the 1960s? Civil rights riots because black people still didn't have equal rights. So obviously, the white people up north didn't fight for them. They were fighting for money to enforce the tax rolls. But here we get fooled again, and I wasn't really sure what the game was with Trump 100%. At first, I was thinking he was going to play third party like Ross Perot did twice, because Ross Perot actually did have a deal with Billy Boy Clinton. Billy the draft dodger. He was my the draft dodger in chief when I was in the Marine Corps. God. I don't even want to say it was, I shouldn't even say I was in the Marine Corps. That's like dropping a dime, It's like, man, whatever. I'm telling you right now, actually, the military itself, I got way more respect for the Confederates and the people the American revolutionaries in 1776 and the War of 1812. Those are the 3 times the United States really fought wars for reasons that make sense. After that, it was... Even World War II. I mean, if I go on a tangent, World War II, we weren't fighting to free the Jews from the Holocaust. We could have bombed the railroads right from the beginning and stopped all that crap. No. That was after the war. They started finding out. Oh, this was, even though they were being told. As a matter of fact, FDR stopped the last 900 Jews out of Germany from coming in this country. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president, said there wasn't enough room. Yeah, today we got a population more than double. There's plenty of room, But he couldn't have 900 Jews. He sent them back to Germany, right? That was the Democratic Party. Here we got Trump back in the day when Hillary Clinton was the first lady, first bitch, whatever. I don't even want to call this lady. She's not a lady. She's an evil woman. And here we have Trump with Bill. Now, I knew all about... You see, Bill actually is a very personal guy. You can get along with this guy on a one-to-one basis, but he's got ambitions, and he'll step all over you, just like Trump. Now, one thing I kind of do know a little bit more about Trump, because before I was in the Marine Corps, I used to work for Hartz, Fountain, Corporation, Construction, the Stern family, back when Leonard Stern was the head man. As a matter of fact, right down... from my office, I was in the main accounting office I was just a staff accountant, but we were compiling the final financials. This was back when we were back in New Jersey. I don't even think they had, it was in the old Ford motor plant, actually. It was in New Jersey. They converted it into offices. We used to park up on the roof. And Max Stern was alive back then. I used to talk to him. That was... Leonard's father, and now I guess Emmanuel 80's, I don't know what's going on over there, but the thing is, Trump was the main competitor of the Stern family, Hartz Construction. It's not like I'm saying Trump's a bad guy, but he's a bullshit artist, man. Everybody in that league of the billionaire league is a bullshit artist. Now Bill is really a big bullshit artist because he got his money from hot air all the way. Like Trump at least builds crap, you know what I mean? That's why I was always like, I could kind of gravitate towards where the money is with, at least when you're building something, you got a structure out there. But they've been buddy forever. Like I knew all the dirt on the Clintons back in '92, but the dirt on the Clintons didn't just stop at the Clintons. It went right to the Bushes, and it went right to Ronnie Reagan. Ronnie Reagan, the ones the conservatives worship. When Bill Clinton criticizes the Republicans, he's dropping you dimes on them too. but they're all buddy-buddy. You know, it wasn't like Trump was this outside guy coming in to freaking save the planet. But I did want her to lose because she is freaking this chick, man. I can't see her walking around with a briefcase with the nuclear codes. One of these days, she'd be like, "The Secret Service dropped my freaking purse," and she'd blow the world up. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want her as president, man. And also wanted her to freaking have a cow because she was saying, "I wanted to be president ever since I was a little girl." Well, so what? I wanted to be club president since I was a little boy, maybe. How's that, right? You know, what does that mean, right? Hey, maybe we all wanted to be president, right? We can't all get what we want, lady. God. But, you know, I knew Trump was full of scat and everybody's taking everything he said on face value. Now they're getting all pissed off because they're finding out he's full of doo-doo, which I knew from day one. But I didn't want to be too critical of him. One was my viewers were hammering the crap out of me for freaking criticizing him, and number two, I didn't want to put over to her because I thought she was that damn bad. She's like really right now. This is on my oil tank on my Harley Davidson. Hang the bitch, kill the beast, because the mission's not accomplished yet. And I don't think this is ever going to happen. To tell you the truth, she's probably going to get a special position later on as I don't know what. I tell you, she should work in a brothel over in Las Vegas or something. I mean, not Las Vegas, in Nevada. You can't do that in Las Vegas, but in Nevada. That would be a good position for her. And back here, Hillary Clinton, Donnie Jr., Eric, and me. The First Lady is a wonderful woman who handled pressure incredibly well. Blah, 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 blah. You know, whatever I mean, right? And that's the deal. In other words, Donald was praising the hell out of Hillary back when she was senator, and they were buddy for decades. And like I knew all the dirt on the Clintons, and it's like I don't want to just throw the dirt on the Clintons. Like they're going along with whatever exists. You know, it's like there's a ladder put out there with some little morsels on each step, and whoever wants to climb the ladder and does the best job of scrambling and up the ladder and taking the morsels that are putting up on each step, that's who gets in office. It's like if it wasn't Bill, it'd be somebody else. But there's the ones that control the morsels and control the ladder are the ones that really run the show. Bill, I'm going to tell you, in defense of Bill on a one-to-one basis was always like, and, you know, I kind of lost any respect for anybody in the government, period. But he would be like, with the Secret Service agents, he'd want to know how they were doing, how was their families, how was going on. Like, even when those three servicemen or two or three servicemen were captured in Bosnia, he was like, I don't want any happening to those boys. That guy, he's got something inside of him. Like, don't step on him. I mean, don't step on him. Don't get in his way politically. But if you don't do that, he's okay. Her, I don't trust, man. I think she's a crazy lady, you know. I'm surprised he should not be married to her anymore. He should get something else. Anyway, but you know, Bill's buddy's got his aunt. If you get in his way, you know, you're gonna fly into it like you're gonna be Ron Brown flying into the side of a mountain in Bosnia. I was gonna testify against you. Goodbye. Anyway. But, you know, be that as it may, you know, Donald Trump is definitely full of it. And, you know, I put that flag in the beginning with, you know, I have a dream, which was like references to Martin Luther King. I guess I have a dream. But Martin Luther King at least liked the women that were old enough, you know. So even though he's a reverend, he wasn't supposed to be playing around with all these women and stuff. He was, though, man. He was. But, hey, you got Billy Boy, you know, with the underage. With Lolita Island. You got Vladimir Putin, which he's got the underage little boys. Okay, don't tell me you don't. That's Vlad. Okay, he's a real freak. And Donald, I wouldn't doubt he's pretty much on par with Bill with anything out there too. That's, you know, I wouldn't doubt it. I've heard stuff. I wouldn't doubt it. Now, in defense of MLK, which I think he's a load of it too, you know, because I put that thing with I Have a Dream. At least he liked the older women, you know, that were not old, but, you know, like perfect, like this over hot 60s women. And, but that was another game. This is what used to be on my oil tank of my Harley Davidson when Billy Boy was my draft dodger in chief when I was in the freaking Marine Corps, on my direct deposit corps. Actually, that's what I call it because all the military today are loyal due to direct deposit pay and bennies. That's really what it is. Like when Obama became president, I think a lot of people, if there really were volunteers in the military, they would have said goodbye. But paying bennies, man, paying bennies. In a lot of ways, the Russians are right about this crap. I mean, I can't knock it, but I got to tell you, lay it out to you on the line. That was that was the other. So I got the new one, hang the bitch. Now we got Hillary Clinton for change. That was back when Billy Boy. And I mean, I know Ronnie Reagan's a load of crap, and actually the military would tell you we like Ronnie Reagan because he was good for us. He increased the money a lot. He made the all-volunteer military pay scales go up a lot. That's what Donald's doing. Except we're broke today. It ain't going to happen for very long. And here we have the celebrity roast. This happened in New York with, with the Cardinal. And they're roasting each other. And it was kind of a comedy show. And you could see that there was no animosity between Bill and Hillary, which I was it wasn't really publicized that much. But you could see there was no animosity there. There never was. The last 2 years before the election, Donald Trump started changing his tune. He could have been critical of the Clintons forever. I mean, there was enough dirt on these people before they were elected in the first place. But Donald's a bullshit artist, and I've been telling that since day one, but it was like, she's so damn bad, it was like I wanted her to lose. I really did. I mean, she's that damn bad. Billy, you got to get another wife. And they don't like each other. I can tell you that right now. I mean, I don't know what kind of partnership that is. Billy, you got to get another wife, man. You got to get something else. I don't blame you for that shit. Better than a little Monica. I mean, something really hot. You know what I mean? And here you got Bill and Donald. They've been buddy forever. So what you witnessed was a big... I mean, there was an intramural contest going on there. But what you witnessed was not an upsetting, we got him on the run. Actually, the way to get him on the run is if you start not cooperating with anything in the government, and you freaking go ahead. I don't know how you, I don't want to give you suggestions because I can't really give you suggestions on here, okay? But if you cut off the beast from their whatever, a little bit at a time, that's the way to do it. I didn't give a penny to this Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, the lawn sign that I had out there in my lawn, I didn't even request. Somebody gave that to me. Somebody gave me the bumper sticker. I didn't really get it. I know the Chinese guy stole it down the block because of Trump's rhetoric against China, but that is not going to change. The policies on China's not going to change at all. And, here we got Billy and Trump. I would not be surprised if Trump was down Lolita Island also. I wouldn't be surprised a bit. Not as much as Bill, but whatever. I'm telling you, man. It's a big freaking goodbye game. And don't tell me I didn't have this pegged. What I had wrong was I thought Trump was going to run third party and throw a winger. But then again, if, say you had somebody like that was a Republican that maybe appeared to be somewhat establishment, but he wasn't really all that establishment, running against Hillary Clinton, I'll bet you Trump probably would have run third party and then thrown it to Hillary. Because basically, you got another Clinton in there with Trump. That's what we got. We got fooled, baby. Not me. Not me. But I didn't want her to win at all. I'll tell you the truth. I did not want her to win. I wanted her to have a calf. And it's like, I'm not playing like conspiracy theorist here. I mean, I know how this garbage works. If anybody's been around in business for 8 million years, they've been dealing with all the big money. They're not an outsider. There's no such thing. Um, what gets me, though, is people, like, in other words, yeah, I could say, what people need to do is to stop supporting this crap. And it's not going to happen, though. Because people willingly want to be, I don't know, they're like caged up in boxes or something like that. That's why they have homeowners associations and stuff like that. I don't even know what the deal is with people the way they think today. Nobody really wants to be that free today like they used to be. People will pay a lot of money to go into, you know, phony establishments, restaurants. I'm not even saying Trump's places, but, you know, all these places. They'll blow money because they want to look like they're special. That's the game today. People go to, oh, we're having fun. Well, it's stupid. You could have freaking did something else with that money that could have been a, you know, a capital asset that could have lasted you a million years, right? But now you blew it, right? People are not pulling their, you know, like people, and also like a lot of times they see when I was doing accounting a lot, what I'd see a lot of times where people would finally get, you know, so many dollars, they'd bank with Bank of America or some big name bank. Do not do that. Don't do that. That's why I've been an advocate for the precious metals too, because if you do accumulate a lot of wealth, you want to keep it outside the systems. Even though that's not a perfect answer, but the other part of that is you can also do it with real estate. That's basically how Donald Trump keeps his money outside the system. It's in real estate. In other words, you got the market value and you got the real value. The real value, if you had to go sell it, which is not very liquid asset, but it might be worth many more times than what it's on the books for, because you keep it on the books at cost or market, whatever's lower. But Bill has been buddy-buddy with Bill Clinton and both Clintons, and the daughters have, you know, the daughters of Bill and daughters of Trump have been buddy friends forever. It's not going to change, man. They're all in the club. I did not want to. I did emphasize this somewhat over quite a period of time. Now I know I was the one that I think back in 2013 put that thing out on Danny Williams, the son of Bill Clinton, which I know he is. I mean, I knew about this for like 20 years before that, right? Now, Hillary's the one that gets. He would. I don't think he'd have so much. I don't think Bill would have so much of a problem with that. Actually, Bill could probably get a load of political points by just opening up with that crap. But she's the one that has a cow on it. See, I don't really mind Bill that. I don't think Bill is any worse than the so-called conservative Republicans. To tell you the truth, I don't think that's. And yet, I vote all Republican. Okay. I mean, not that that does any good at all, but I don't think Bill's any worse than any Republican. I don't really mind. Well, I might be related to Bill real remotely, to tell you the truth, if this Lord Hallett, Greg Hallett, is right, but who the hell knows? Anyway, but the deal is, you're not hearing any kind of major change here in any respect with Donald Trump. It's like, we got the establishment on the run. I was like, no, we don't. I just didn't want her to win because I was scared that lady was having problems walking up curbs. She needed help walking upstairs. She needed injections so she wouldn't go ballistic in the lights when the camera lights were flashing her. I was like, this lady's unfit for anything, let alone the office of the presidency. I was like, no way, man. No. Plus, she's just rotten. You know, she can't even act nice. That's the thing. She can't even act nice for very long. But you know, people were saying, you know, Donald Trump's a billionaire and he's gonna fix. Yeah, he could have been, if he was gonna fix stuff. He would have been hammering the crap out of the Clintons and the Bushes a long time ago. Long time ago. But no. Nope. Not in the least, buddy. So what's going to happen now? Well, I think the swamp is getting drained, but because I'm going to tell you, I don't think anybody, no matter how smart they are, they never have everything figured out. They paint themselves in a corner, and there's a lot of competing. You know, they say the elite. They use this word. They throw this around on the internet. The elite. There's so many elite out there. There's so many different competing groups of elite, quote unquote, that have different interests. And it's not like Putin's the good guy against the elite. He's got his own freaking game. I don't mind him as much as what's going on in the West, though, to tell you the truth, because even though I know Putin's not Mr. Saint by a long shot, um, it's one thing. I know one thing, like I think Hillary Clinton criticized Putin for something. I forgot what the hell she said about him exactly, but Putin retorted and said, well, it may be that, but at least I have a brain. And I can tell you one thing, Putin does have a brain. Putin is smart, and he keeps a cool head. He keeps a cool head. So I'm not saying like he's a wonderful guy. I'm not telling you that, okay? I'm telling you he's smart, and he keeps a cool head. Actually, he's probably got more parameters and stability than the current Western leaders. And I personally think Putin's going to wind up kicking the West's ass one day at an inopportune time, even though that's probably going to result in the destruction of Russia. It's going to happen at one point in time where it's going to be the destruction of the West, too. There's a lot of games going on. But don't be fooled. Donald Trump, the bullshit artist, is now in the White House. But, at least she's not in there, But now that he's in there, I could, I figured at first he could sign off on the relief for Obamacare. I mean, he can only do so much as president, but obviously he's going hog wild in with the clique. And he's morphing right back into what he always was from day one. The one guy that we should have elected would have been Jim Webb. He was a Democrat, but the Democrats hated him. Saturday Night Live hated him. Jim Webb was the former Secretary of the Navy. He was in my chain of command at one time. He's a good guy. And I don't know why he's not like a Democrat the way the Democrats are today. He's a Democrat when the Democrats were the good guys. Jim Webb. He's a former, I think, Marine officer. He was highly decorated, very highly decorated in Vietnam. He's a Harvard fellow. I think he's also was a senator from Virginia. I forgot what it was. He's got a lot of way more political qualifications than Donald Trump. Jim Webb. If Jim Webb got on the Democratic ticket, I would have voted Democrat for the first time in my life, man. I wish he was on there. I wish he was. But Clinton for change. And by the way, when we have this Clinton for change with the hammer and sickle, the United States have been moving towards communism. We are a communist country now, pretty much. It's one big, evil communist country. And everybody's on food assistance. Everybody's got wait. Everybody elects leaders for the government to help them. We're freaking cooked, man. We're cooked with a fork in it, man. We're done. And it's not that people can't make it work. They don't want to make it work because they won't work. Because that's really what the essence of what free America is about. Individuals working and the government not interfering in their activities. That's why I kind of respect what the old Sicilian Mafia used to say, non-cooperation with all authorities and non-interference in all economic activities, whether illegal or legal. In other words, let the flow of goods or services happen, and don't tell the cops about it, right? So that's that would actually that would make America great again, right? and defunding anybody in the government. I'm kind of like, a lot of times people like, conservative religious, they look at the police and the military like the saviors. I'm saying they're not the main part of the problem, but they're one arm of the problem. As a matter of fact, they follow any orders there are, period. No matter how stupid they are. So, because that's what keeps their pay, entitlements, and bennies, and pensions and retirement going. You know, that's what happens. That's what happens. That's why I'm not really conservative, because the conservatives, they got the blinders on to the max. The liberals, a lot of times, well, I don't even want to use the word like that. They're communists to the max. That's what they really are. As far as what's going to happen, I think the United States government probably is going to have. Well, you really can't. I could tell you this. I think there's just going to be economic havoc in the world coming up here because, one, it's like all the Western nations are in extreme debt, whether it's the United States, Europe, and even Japan. We're upside down with debt to the max. Stagnation of growth. But don't expect to see the Chinese yuan be the international currency of the future or some crap like that. Don't expect that to happen. Because China itself is pretty damn fragile with their, dozens of ethnic minorities. It's only held together by the strong arm political party, Communist Party in the military. Even Russia is like a lot of different ethnic minorities. It's held together by a strong centralized control. So, I mean, maybe the United States might fall apart, but maybe a lot of places might fall apart too. And there's nothing really right now to replace the dollar if the dollar goes down. But, what's going on here is people aren't working as much, and they've lost the incentive to work due to government freaking sticking their nose in everything, either making it more lucrative to depend upon the government or work for the government, which means you don't do anything, or the government is stifling your business with all there's unnecessary regulations. See, old girl here has just said, I'm just going to make my own money. She's walking around with her hot pants, and she's not paying taxes on whatever money she's got. So, and one of her customers was probably MLK, right? MLK. Actually, I'll say something good about MLK, Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. I think he woke up there at the end, because I know he was communist trained guy, and that's why the media loved him. Not exactly what, it's like Trump. I mean, I'm telling you, Trump's a load of crap. MLK's a load of crap. Actually, a lot of our leaders are a load of crap. MLK was a load of crap too, but he was killed by the powers that run the government eventually, just like John F. Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy, Robert Kennedy. If you look behind the deal, there was more than one shooter with both Bobby Kennedy and John F. K. MLK, he was realizing that, by his trying to bring things together, he was also bringing about communism, I guess. He probably started waking up to the deal that communism was being fostered in this country through some of the governmental policies that were being enforced at the time, and it wasn't working out right. That's why when I'm a fan of this Confederate flag and stuff like that, it's really like an anti-establishment message, not an anti-racial message. People got to figure this out. Sometimes people don't figure that out. It's an anti-establishment message. That's what I'm putting out here. But this would really be an anti-establishment message. Hang the bitch, kill the beast. The witch is dead. Ha ha. Like the Wizard of Oz. God, she is such a clown, man. I guess if she was younger, she could have been president. And she wore those hot pants, right? And she smiled more, and she got a boob job, she would have been president, right? I think when she was younger, she was hotter. Now she's turned into a mean, nasty lady. Time to get a divorce, Bill. God, man. Get rid of her, man. She's a drag on you, dude. You know? You don't need that broad around anymore. She's a pain in the ass. See what Trump does? He gets younger ones. Got to take after your buddy Trump. But like again, I'm really telling you, like these guys are, they're friends, man, big time. You know, they've always have been. See, Hillary, she was running for president. She looked like this. Um, you know, she got a boob job. And she wore freaking hot pants. She would win. She'd win. You know. I'm just telling you that's the reality. You say no, no, no. Yeah, she'd win. She'd win. She'd win. That's all she'd have to do. Get a boob job and wear hot pants. Anyway, I'm telling you, man, that's exactly what it is. She look younger like the way she used to. Yeah, she'd win. Right now, she's acting like a crabby old lady. Doesn't like guys. She only likes Uma Aberdeen and stuff. But I still have a dream. I have a dream. The Confederate flag. Well, you know what? The problem is, even with this deal, with the Confederate, you know, the fact that the Confederacy lost, it never got so big that it could turn into the military-industrial complex again. And we could see that there was one problem with the Confederacy that was a real problem, was slavery. But even that type of slavery, that was open slavery, was a type of caste system communism. It's really what you want to call it. You know, the slavery that existed in the South, it was like a caste system communism, and because it wasn't 100% racial all the way, because the Irish had, you know, were slaves, and you know, eventually they became white. Eventually, you know, they used to call the Irish the black man of Europe. You know, they used to call them that, right? And you know, some of the black guys got freed back in South Carolina, and they became slave owners. It was actually one of the biggest slave owners in South Carolina was a black guy, and he was actually real mean to his slaves, believe it or not. So once you get in that power, you're a jerk no matter what. You know what I mean? It's not like exactly racial, but if this Confederate flag won, it's kind of cool that it lost, because it's like embodied in history. Like, this is what happened from 1861 to 1865, and that's it. If it won, it could have morphed into something corporate and got turned into something different. Just like the Betsy Ross flag of the, you know, which I guess it wasn't really made by Betsy Ross, but we call it the Betsy Ross flag. If you look historically, it wasn't by Betsy Ross. Of the American Revolution, turned into the corporate United States of America. But, you know, for now, the major media hates this flag, so we gotta love it. I have a dream, you know. It's more fun when you're fighting the uphill battle, man. I guess when you, because once it freaking becomes if this Confederate flag became establishment, it would kind of suck. To tell you the truth, in a way, I hope it doesn't become establishment, because I want it to be rebel, just like Harley Davidson. When everybody starts driving Harley Davidsons, it kind of like, yeah, get a Harley. Yeah, well, whatever. It's like when you're an outsider, it's more fun. But anyway, lady, glad you lost. Have a cow. Go cry in your Cheerios. Donald won. He's taking a dump in your Cheerios while you're eating them too, and but he's still a load of it too. That's bottom line. Bottom line. And now we've been right about this crap. And you know, even my analysis about him running for a third party, that might have been, if you got a Republican in there that was not Jeb Bush, that was, you know, semi-decent. I don't know who that would be, you know. I don't know. Marco Rubio? No. I'm not sure who the hell. Freaking, what's his dad? The other dipstick. That one from Canada. God, see, I forgot a damn guy's name, you know, already. You know, somebody was semi-good. The establishment would say, well, we can't have that. Then Trump would have probably run on a third party in that situation and thrown it to Hillary. Right now, it's almost like on the outside he's playing like he's Mr. Conservatard, which is, I don't even know what that word means, conservative. That's why I call it conservatard. But he is basically another Clinton. That's what the hell he is. And he had his red hat way back when he was right next to Bill. You know, here he is with Hillary. Anyway, back when she looked like this, she'd been worth going after then. You know what I mean? She needs a major revamp. She's beyond hope. She got to get an at. You know what she's got to. You know what the problem is with Hillary too, and Bill right now. They invested $1.5 billion in that Clinton Foundation to try to get a return on that investment because they figured Hillary was going to win. And yes, it was an upset with Donald, right? But you know why the upset was allowed to happen? There's so much dirt that came out on Hillary Clinton through the internet and YouTube. That's why YouTube's getting very family friendly now. Means the code word for don't be politically incorrect. That they had to put it to Donald because she would have never got nothing done because everybody in the world knew about Hillary. I knew all this crap about the Clintons way back when, but I knew Ronnie Reagan was a load of crap, and I know Martin Luther King's a load of crap. Boy, the Holy Grail. You know, black people get mad at me. Well, he's a load of crap, man. They're all a load of crap on the top. I mean, who isn't a load of crap? Ike Eisenhower. You know, General Eisenhower, I guess relatively speaking, he looks good compared to what we got today. Remember General Eisenhower became President Dwight D. Eisenhower? Hey, we was a lieutenant general back in the 1930s. Lieutenant colonel back in the 1930s. He never had a command of any kind of combat. He started rubbing shoulders with FDR's daughter, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's daughter, and brown-nosing the crap out of her, and then she put a bug in her daddy's ear. Oh, what a wonderful man in uniform Lieutenant Colonel Eisenhower is. And then he started having lunch with Winston Churchill all the time. And basically that accelerated him into being 5-star general, supreme commander of Allied forces. We probably could have won World War II much, much quicker if that jerk wasn't in charge. If Patton was in charge, General Patton, Germans would have got their ass kicked a long time ago. And probably could have saved at least, I don't know how many Jews. I mean, I don't even want to put that out there because I know people say, the Holocaust didn't have this many members. I don't know how, well, whatever. You know, what I'm telling you is if Patton was in charge, was the Allied commander, the Germans would have been defeated much, much earlier. But no, you know the deal, right? So, anyway, Clinton for change. Trump for change. Trump for change. He doesn't have a C in the front of his name, so he can't have it. You can't have it as a hammer and sickle, though. You know, you got to do something else. I don't know what that would be. He's got that name like, you know, triumphant, you know, but it's just a name. What the hell does that mean? Right? And here he is with the Jesuits, the Catholic. I'm Catholic, okay? I can't stand the Pope. I'm Catholic like cat-holic, okay? Cat, C-A-T, holic. I got cats. That's my religion, okay? Here he is with Hillary, and they're roasting each other with this cardinal dinner, whatever the hell it was in New York. I remember that crap. Oh, they were friends, man, just roasting the hell out of each other, laughing it up. You know, it's a big game. I don't like a lot of. I'm Catholic. I don't like Catholic stuff, to tell you the truth. I don't like a lot of religious stuff. You know that? Period. I don't know. Here, Trump is picking out. I don't know what Bill is picking out the next bevy honeys for Lolita Island. I don't know what's going on there. So golf, bunch of crap. These guys are all a bunch of crap, man. Hi, goofballs. And you know, I got to tell you this. And like YouTube, better not give me no shit about this. If all these guys were Jewish, the YouTube would have a field day. Or if one of them was Jewish, they would have a field day and they'd say, the Jewish guy is the conspiracy controlling guy. Well, you know what? None of these guys are Jewish, okay? You know, it's like, I tell you the truth, that's why I'm like, I got a heavy suspicion I might be related to what I thought I was related to from way back, but I I lean way more towards Jewish people because they ought to get the hell out of New York and South Florida, though. I'm telling you, you better get the hell out of New York's area and Long Island and South Florida. Target zero, buddies. I'm telling you right now, dear fellow Jewish people, because Trumpster is bringing us on toward a path sure as crap as Hillary would be, except we can sort of predict what's going to happen with Trump. Is with Hillary, she'd be having a nuclear codes one day and probably just have a cow and say, "Let's set the bombs off. Oh, my makeup is smearing." I'm glad that lady didn't make it. But even her, she would have been better. She would have been president if she was like running when she was 19 in 1995. She probably could have. She probably I don't know. She's a mean lady. Anyway, well, oh yeah, this is what I was leading up to. Oprah. Oprah's going to be running in 2020. Well, Donald Trump won. He didn't have any political freaking experience, right? Donald Trump is a billionaire. What about Oprah? Oh, look, she's a woman. She's black. She's a billionaire. She's a crazy freaking broad. And I never, I never, I don't know how Oprah made all that money, but I never watched any of her shows. I can tell you that right now, man. I never watched one single one of those damn things. Trump's are. So if Trump can be president, Oprah can be president. Now, when Oprah becomes president, that's when you better head for the hills, man. Yeah, I'm serious, man. And by then, hopefully, I will be up in the hills 4 years from now. I don't think I'm going to be on the sandbar of Florida. The hell with that. And Trump, all your properties and golf courses in Florida are going to be awash in ocean water that's radioactive. So have a nice day. I wonder how your portfolio is going to look then. And Bill, they're not going to need your hot air anymore. So if I was you, he's all right. I don't mind Bill, tell you the truth, man. And crazy lady wouldn't be so bad if he could put a leash on her better. But they're all bullshit. I knew this though, and it's like I didn't want to be too critical of Trump because I was like aghast at the thought of her being president, man. Bill, you should have married somebody else. You could have had your wife as president. How's that, Bill? If you freaking married somebody else by the way, she would have won if she listened to him as the campaign manager. See, Trump was on the right nerve point with Make America Great. The economy is the main problem that main people are thinking about. The money, what's in their pocket, what's going on, the foreseeable future. I know I'm being long on this video, but Clinton said that she should have freaking emphasized the economy. He's right. Clinton is smart. And I think the major media puts Obama as a higher IQ than Clinton. No way in hell. I think Obama's not really stupid, but I don't think Obama's that. Clinton is smart as crap. Trump is smart as crap. They're both very, very, very smart. And they sure fooled you. this crap, man. And I probably would have been right about the third party if we had not a Jeb Bush Republican, but somebody. Oh, not Ted Cruz or not Marco Rubio, but somebody came out and was a little more, on the ball with doing the right thing. Then he would have had to make sure it got thrown to Hillary. And Trump would have been on that third party to pull the steam out of the guy that was a Republican, just like Ross Perot did. So, I got a dream. Well, this ain't going to happen because, like I said, I don't care if the rebel flag stays rebel and it's a little bit outcast. Because when it becomes mainstream, it got co-opted by the money powers, right? I'd rather always have it be an ongoing uphill fight. Anyway, I got to get working on my General Bedford, Nathan Bedford Forrest flag. That's going up here pretty soon. And we get that. We'll have a video on that. I have a dream. Martin Luther King. I should put a video out on him. And yeah, I'm going to tear him up a little bit. I am going to tear him up a lot, but I tear everybody up a lot. But that's another guy that was a con job that is controlled by the establishment, even though a lot of people think he was anti-establishment. But in a lot of ways, he was. There was some aspects to him that weren't screwed up, though. I can tell you that. Not everything, because the critics of him say everything about him was horrendous. I know he liked a woman. He liked, what else he do? Oh, his doctorate thesis was plagiarized and stuff. But he's still a smart guy. He said some good stuff. And he was trying to do some stuff for the black people mainly, right? And the Indian people and the poor white Appalachian people. But the powers behind the government killed him. So if Trump was legit, he would have wound up like MLK, JFK, John F. Kennedy, and also John F. Kennedy Jr., the senator who was going to run against, that was going to run for the Senate against Hillary. She would have lost. You know, when he went in a plane, went in a drink, he would have been dead. He was dead, and also Bobby Kennedy. So if Trump was legit, he would have got killed a long time ago. I think he's a little bit legit. He's a little bit legit enough that they don't want him in there. That's about what you're getting there, right? Okay? He's a little bit legit. That's about all I gotta tell you. Crazy lady. You freaking dang the bitch. Anyway, over and out. That's all I gotta say. And I've been right about this, even though I didn't predict it step for step. But these two, they're working together, more or less. More or less. Over and out.